You know, to be honest, I didn't think we would get here. I didn't think we would ever have another 30 Seconds to Mars album after the 2018 debacle that was America. Pretty much universally hated, and of course one of their longtime band members left, leaving just Jared and Shannon Leto. But Jared Leto was too busy just acting in some shitty movies. I mean, I guess House of Gucci was okay, but he's the worst Joker, and he was in one of the most memed movies of all time, that being Morbius. Now, in 2023, 30 Seconds to Mars is back, their first new album in 5 years. This one titled, It's the End of the World, but a Beautiful Day. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kinda got duped. When the first single to this album came out, Stuck, I said, you know, it's still generic pop, but my goodness, at least this isn't annoying or obnoxious. This sounds like I actually had fun listening to it. Like, I would even call it a bad song. But when you listen to the rest of the record, oh my god, Stuck is like the highlight, and it doesn't even come close or compare to anything that is given to us on this record. There's moments where there are, you know, sort of a return to rock form in a way, but it all gets drowned out by this whole, I don't know what Jared Leto's fascination is with these like squeaky chipmunk vocals that do like an echo and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, but he's just trying to imitate way too many pop artists with these voices that he's doing. Like, dude, you have a solid voice. We've heard it before. Why are you doing, like, something like... He's trying to sound like Post Malone without the auto-tune and all this kind of stuff. It feels like 30 Seconds to Mars is so lost, and yet they can't figure it out. And at this point, I'm just like, look, if you want to go and do your thing solo, that's great. But at this point, 30 Seconds to Mars has just become a relic of his former self. It's been that way since their last record, because at least when they released their 2013 album, that thing had some cohesiveness to it. It still felt like Jared Leto gave a shit, but now this whole pop thing is stuck in his head, and there's just nothing about it that I can say is really even that passable. I mean, yeah, sure, I mentioned Stuck, but then Never Not Love You is fine, and the final song on the record, Avalanche, is also good. But just because they're my favorite tracks, that doesn't necessarily mean they're the best things I've heard. They're just my favorite from the album. And then there was two okay songs like Seasons and World on Fire, but the chorus mainly carries those. Everything else about the song is mainly dog shit. And then when we have songs like Life is Beautiful, Get Up Kid, Love These Days, 7 to 1, Midnight Prayer, Lost These Days, there's just nothing about them that is even interesting. You get bored, you start to zone out, and they all just kind of come together and don't even sound different from each other in so many ways, and that's been the problem with 30 Seconds to Mars, or should I say the mind of Jared Leto, for the past, we'll say, 6 to 7 years. Is just, I don't know what it is, he's just very egotistical, and he thinks everything he touches turns to gold, when really he just keeps making the same generic shit over and over and over again, giving us one good song, and that's really all he has left. Heck, if 30 Seconds to Mars was just to become a band like Falling in Reverse, where they release just singles, I don't think I would be mad at that, because then I can at least say, oh, okay, this single's good, and then wait 7 months or so for a next single to come out and be like, that's not as good as this one, but at least I'm not getting a full album of filler and crap. And this record is basically just that, outside of a few good moments where some, you know, resemblance of just talent seeps through. But other than that, I have to give this album a 3 out of 10 because I can't. There's not much I would go back to, if any, other than Stuck. And Stuck, again, isn't even that great of a song. It's just good for the album that it's on. So, yeah. That's my thoughts with this thing. You can tell me in the comments below what do you think. But until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.